Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Space Engineers Plus Me, episode 86. I'm Enigmius and today, broken. It's not our fault for once. We've been working pretty diligently trying to get this thing ready to release as blueprints for the community to take advantage of. It's not going to be a simple blueprint. There's going to be one for the ship, one for the outer ring, one for the inner ring, one for the tether, one for the borehead, and one for the Spectre Gamma, and it's also going to include some instructions on how to get the outer ring attached and the inner ring attached and all that other stuff. There's quite a process involved in presenting this, but we hit a snag with the operation of the tether extending system, specifically the landing gears that hold it in place between grinding operations. Don't work anymore. They don't work properly. They're inconsistent and unreliable, and we're going to show you exactly what we mean by that. You can see from this view here, aside from the horrible frame rate, there's a landing gear and it's turned off. And the reason why it's turned off is because it doesn't need to be turned on. The tether is being held in place by a merge block here. That's the ship side merge block, and the tether side one is up here, right there. And conversely, underneath, we have a pair of connectors. Kind of difficult to see through that welder down there, but there's two connectors, and they happen to be connected and locked. And between those two things, we don't need engaged landing gears in order to hold it in place, but we're going to show you what happens when we activate this. Keeping in mind, for those of you who have been following the series, you know we've already tested this with the one-button launch command that has everything do what it's supposed to do. If we start the first one, this is auto gyro 1, which is the first one in the sequence. So we start it, and then we kind of step back and out of the way. See the grinders fire up, grind off the top of that guy. Some blocks still are missed. They fall down out of the way. It's not that big of a deal. Now watch this guy. Right now, because we were grinding, the landing gear was on. Now it's off. And we're welding, and we've got these pistons coming up, getting ready to hold the tether when we release the merge block and the connector. Actually, the connector's already released. When we release the merge block in a couple of seconds, it should let the tether fall onto the pistons, and the pistons lower down into the new position, and it'll grab a new merge block. But look what happened. These turned on and locked. There was no instruction given for these to turn on and lock. Auto lock is not on for any of the landing gears, and because this guy is turning on for no reason, the thing doesn't work. See, this should be lowered one block, so it's doing all these modifications down there that aren't actually needed or necessary. The tether is not extending because it's not being lowered, and it's all just kind of a big fat waste of time. So until the landing gears start to exhibit consistent behavior, specifically they don't turn on and lock unless we've specifically asked them to, we can't continue. We've already made a number of changes to the way this whole system works. A lot of them we had it originally set up and things didn't work the way you might expect them to, so we made a couple of adjustments. One of those adjustments is going through and inserting delays between certain steps just to give things a chance to work and do what they need to do before we try and do the next thing. It may not sound like a big deal, but it is. It's an undocumented big deal that would prevent the system from working any other way. So if you're not accustomed to that idea of giving something time to work instead of expecting it to be instant, that alone would have basically stymied this whole project. But we figured out the alternative, we made it work, and then we come across a bug like this that takes this whole thing and says, so what can we do? Well, we're not going to sit around all day complaining about it, that's for sure. We're going to power down this ship to save uranium, and then we're going to head back up to the space station, and we're going to take a look at what we have to do next steps there. When we see indication that landing gears are fixed, we will come back down and try and get everything set up properly so that we can offer this guy as a blueprint, and use it to actually mine, because we do still have this thing called resources that we need to accumulate in order to be able to build our projects, but it doesn't work if it doesn't work. And here we are at the site of our second mega project, because one wasn't enough. We haven't touched this station since we went down to the moon with the Atlas Mk.II, so everything is pretty much as we left it. This is mostly just a recap what we're going to be working on for the next couple of days, which is primarily finishing the inner sphere. You can see we've got about half of it done, and then we made the blueprint so that we could copy the 1/8 section all the way around and save a tremendous amount of time. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll close it all in, and then from there it's going to be a question of basically creating floors and then filling those floors with machines to do all the things that we could ever possibly want machines to do. And then we're going to do the exterior. We'll finish off these outer rings. I don't know exactly what we'll do with them, but we'll do something that's hopefully kind of interesting looking. I don't expect them to be especially functional. And then from there we're going to be building our next major ship that will be the thing that carries us to the alien planet. I think we should also make some sort of excursion down to Mars itself, considering we haven't really been there yet. We've been parked in orbit, but we've been doing everything on the moon. So maybe we'll come up with a ship that we can make to take down there. We really need to keep on top of the resource gathering, which has been kind of disrupted a bit. We can maybe pick up a little bit of where that left off, some new ideas, something that we'll come up with that we can take down to the surface proper of the Mars-like planet for a little while, and then continue building the mega ship that we're going to take to the alien planet. That's not the alien planet, that's the Earth-like planet. Where's the alien planet? Somewhere. Probably behind the Mars-like planet, or I probably scrolled right past it and didn't even notice. One way or the other, that's where we're going to end up, and we're going to take a big ship to get there. There it is, way off in the distance. We're going to take a big fat ship with all kinds of guns and stuff, because there's going to be potentially bad guys on the planet. I was reading that apparently in the solar system start, which is the one that we used, pirates can attack in space. So the thought has occurred to me that it might be in our best interest to start putting guns on the space station, so that we can actually defend ourselves. We can defend ourselves against pirate attacks, because you never know when a pirate could show up just to do horrible things. I may even have pirates turned off. If that's the case, I should probably turn them back on, because that would make things a little more interesting. One way or the other, we've got lots to do, and we're going to get back to the business of closing this guy in and making it do the things that we want it to do, and then we'll carry on with our existing and expanded plans. So if you want to be notified when we add future videos in this series expounding on those expanding plans, you can subscribe to my channel and or follow me on social media. Links for social media always in the information box below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.